we were just saying, it doesn't matter if you love each other. You need to have a man. You need to have a wife. A wife, you need to have a husband. So now another one. I hear this a lot, and I heard an actual, and this was a priest. He said this, but and this kind of bothered me. But he said times have changed. Times have changed. People will say this. Times have changed. Things are different now. God's character has not changed, nor will it ever change. Let me bring up some verses to say that. Hebrews 13:8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Numbers 23:19. God is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man, meaning like a human, that he should change his mind. Malachi 3:6. I, the Lord, do not change. So for you to say, oh, well, times have changed. Oh, and I haven't heard this guy say that. Oh, well, there's prophets of nowadays that relay things to us. I believe there's still that people, there's still prophetic word and stuff. I still believe that. I'm not a cessationalist, however you say it. Like I believe that it's possible. I haven't seen it that much, but I believe it. That many of those gifts are still present today. But have I said, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of them, but I'm getting off topic now. Anything a prophet or someone says to you, if it goes against God's word, false prophet, offer it. False prophet. It does not matter. If it goes against God's word, false prophet. Anything said to you cannot go against God's word. If it goes against God's word, it's not right. So like I said, God's character has not changed, nor will it ever. Hebrews 13:8, Numbers 23:19, and Malachi 3:6. So another one I get. We are married in God's eyes. This is a big one. So you go to Matthew 22. I believe this is about a feast. This is about a feast that they went on. They didn't go on a feast, but there was a feast, and I think it's talking about Jesus. He was speaking about a feast, I believe. Let's see. Matthew 22. Okay. Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. And then it goes on to just talk about the wedding banquet. But what just this one verse is showing is how, not saying you need to have a banquet and all this, that for your marriage, but there needs to be something showing you're married. You know what I'm saying? Also, you must be legally married, because we're supposed to follow the laws of the land, right? That's what it says in the Bible. So we're supposed to follow the laws of the land. If in order to be legally married, you need to get a marriage license and get married, then that's the only way you could truly be married. Now, let's say you're off, you get sent off, you're shipwrecked onto an island, and it's just you and some girl, just y'all two, and there's no one else there. Could you just get married, like, do that ceremony, like just you two and God, because God's always there? Yeah, you could do that. If that's the case, though, like if you get shipwrecked, don't get yourself shipwrecked just so you could do that. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be a whole legally thing, because if nothing's legally binding on that island, what can you do? Romans 13:1-7. I think this is what I was just saying about laws of the land, but I'm not too sure. I put these notes down a while back. 13:1-7. Yeah. Everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. So everyone must submit himself. God don't got to submit himself to nobody. Everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. So we must submit ourselves to the governing authority. So the governing authority says, get a marriage license in order to get married. Then just do it. It's really not that deep. It's not like they're telling you, deny Jesus. That's different. But when it's that, like, just get the license to get married, fine, do it. Then you're legally married, God's eyes. And then in John chapter 2, Jesus attended a wedding. This is also, I believe, in Matthew, but in John chapter 2, Jesus attended a wedding. So we can, he actually attended one. So we can assume you need some type of wedding, that he's cool with weddings, that weddings are like, tradition. Like, that's been tradition since the beginning. So now let's talk about how. Now we went through those points, and let me see the points that we just went through about the arguments. It's not wrong if we love each other. 1 Corinthians 7:2 cuts that out the way. Times have changed. God's character does not change, nor will it ever. Hebrews 13:8, Numbers 23:19, Malachi 3:6. We're married in God's eyes. Matthew 22, Romans 13, John chapter 2. Just some examples. I'm sure there's many more. Now we got to talk about how to stay away from sexual immorality. First and foremost, flee from it. If you see yourself in it, if you know, don't walk into it and then run away from it. If you know what you're going to go do will have you stuck in it, will make you fall into it, don't go, don't do it. If you know you're not strong enough, don't go. Don't get yourself into the situation. Point blank period. I don't care how much you love her, how much you love him. Like, don't do it. Like, no. Next.
Sorry.
It's all right. I'm doing something right now.
I'll stay here with you.
All right, just sit down, buddy. I'm talking, okay?
Lucinda.
Hey.
Wanna stay here with me?
Hey. It's you can hang out in here. Just don't talk, okay? I'm doing something. Be quiet.
I on YouTube.
Yeah, go whisper, guys. Go whisper. All right. So first, you call on the Lord to break the chains, to give you the courage, strength, and wisdom to stay away from sexual immorality. So that means you not only flee from it, but you call these kids, yo. You not only run away from it, but you call on the Lord to break the chains, and also to give you the strength, courage, strength, and wisdom to stay away from it, because you want to know when to stay away from it and how to be strong. You want to have the strength and courage to stay away from it, to actually not get involved in it. So next, do not use sexual humor or language and walk away if needed. Shh, guys, come on. And walk away. Guys, stop. Come on. And walk away if needed when it's used. So if there's sexual humor or language going on around you, then you gotta walk away when it's used. You gotta walk away when it's used, because if you're over here and you're hearing these things and it's making you think things, stay away from it. And definitely don't use it, because it talks about the things we say in the Bible and all that. You gotta stay away from that stuff, because you don't want to get caught up. I think it's hold on, 1276. I have it here in here. It's Matthew 15:11. If you want to go there, right, real quick. Sorry about the children. It's my sister and my little cousin. So, 15:11 says, What goes into a man's mouth does not make him unclean, but what comes out of his mouth is what makes him unclean. So it's what comes out of your mouth that makes you unclean. So the things you're saying, if you're over here joking with people about that, you're joking with people about sexual humor and this, that, and the third, thinking it's funny, that's what makes you unclean, not what you eat. So also stay away from media that shows it. If you're over here watching shows, stop, buddy, come on, be quiet. If you're over here watching shows and things that show sex or show sexual humor, this, that, and the third, stay away from it, because that's what's gonna cloud your mind with it and make you prone to it, make you used to it. Also, pay attention to how you treat others, especially those of the opposite sex, because if you're over here treating people, men are treating women, or women treating men like they're animals, like they're objects, like you treat them like they're objects, like they're just an object of your lust. Like, oh yeah, I can just go over there and do this with them. Like, who cares? You're gonna get, your whole mindset on them is gonna be messed up. They're made in the image of God, whether or not they believe or not. They're still made in the image of God. You need to respect them. Point blank, period. Doesn't matter who they are. Now we'll go to 1 Thessalonians 4:3-5. It says this: It is God's will that you should be sanctified, which means like free from sin or set apart, that you abstain from sexual immorality, which means you abstain from it, that each one of you know how to control his own body, in holiness and honor, not in the passion of lust, like the Gentiles who do not know God. So there's your, so I'm challenging you to do today, is to do God's will, be sanctified, free from sin, set apart, that you abstain from sexual immorality completely, point blank, period. That each one of you know how to control his own body in holiness and honor, and not in the passion of lust, like those who don't even know God. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry, I went kind of long here.
Subscribe.
But sure, if you want.
Subscribe.
I just pray that you would see that you see the truth in that, and that you would just continue to fall into God's word. And if I've made any mistakes in this, I'm technically still a new Christian. I've only been a Christian for about 2 years now. But if there's anything I made a mistake on, feel free to comment, reach out to me, show me where I made a mistake, and we can speak about it. God bless you guys. I pray that this would touch you, and that you would see the truth, and that you would use some of those points in order to Mason.
My
that,
teeth.
that you would use some of those points in order to help further your life and to stay away from sin and to help surrender to Jesus. Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys.